how did you find your support from school or from the education system following the diagnosis?
It was fantastic. Everybody, even going to when Keith first left ECE, his early childhood education, by that stage we had a diagnosis and we were transitioning to mainstream school. And he did attend a mainstream school and they did try. But unfortunately Keith was an escape artist. He caused a couple of quite large events where he went missing. He did have a one-on-one. It didn't stop him. He would be into a bush and the one-on-one couldn't follow him and he'd be gone. So eventually became aware that he did require more safer surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was assessed to be able to transition to a special services school, special needs school.
Yeah.
He's attended a couple.
Can I just stop you there?
Yes.
In terms of getting into that special school, what did he need? Did he need anything to be able to go to one of those special schools?
He did require an assessment. The assessment was to see where Keith was standing in terms of behaviour, attention span, could he learn, was he a danger to him or people around him or teachers? If that did become the case.
And he got some funding, didn't he, to enable him to do that?
Yes.
Called Oars funding, is
yes,
that right?
Oars funding.
So he's Oars funded.
Yes.
Perfect. Sorry, carry on.
He's currently attending quite a nice special services school out our area, and that has been a world of difference. Dedicated facilities, dedicated teachers who understand his condition, who know what his triggers are, who work with other children, who have been a part of other schools with other children that are similar. They have their own network to be able to talk to other schools to see if they've got children that have similar disabilities or similar mannerisms, and they will try to apply what they've done at other schools just to see if it works. And so it gives them this massive array of very bespoke teaching for Keith. This then means the meltdowns are less, means the learning's more, means the routine is then set. He's learning how to cook. He's learning how to 3D print. He's learning how to do. He's learning how to do programming of Lego robots and everything else. And if you go back even just a year, where he didn't really have that support, he was very much like it was. I would say that it was breakable. It would break me. I would have days where I just didn't know what to do.
And that is so cool to hear, because I did come and meet you about a year ago, and it's such a difference.
Yes.
And I guess the important thing for other families to know is that not every child with autism will get Oars funding. It is really difficult to get, but you get it if you need it.
Yes.
And then that does offer you the opportunity to go to a special school.
Yeah.
Does mean that you can stay within mainstream. You don't have to go to a special needs school with Oars funding. So
and I'd like to point out too that, like with the doctors and being able to question them and make sure that you are seeing the right doctor and GP for your child. Same goes for the school, because Keith he's actually been to 3.
Yes.
The first one was in a different town and moved. So, but that was we watched his progress there, and whilst his behaviour was okay, apparently at school it was not good at home, and his educational progress in terms of learning to read and write was abysmal, quite honestly. He then moved locations and attended at another school where his behaviour at school was disastrous, wasn't it, James, to be honest?
Yes, entirely.
It was not, it had nothing to do with it was just the environment and Keith.
Yeah.
I think the school is great. They had great teachers, a great campus.
And it was a special services
and it was
school.
It was an special school.
And I guess,
but it just, that was not where Keith, he didn't feel that he fitted there.
And you're right. It is important to get the right school for your child,
Yes.
not try and fit them, into a school that's closest to you or that you think might be the best.
Yeah, exactly. And then finally we're at his current school and he is just blossoming.
Thriving.
It's
That's
one-
fantastic.
One thing that Keith is we're all lucky that this works for Keith, but even if they're eligible for a specialist school, you can choose the school within reason. They do let you do that. So if you find a school that you take your child to and your child likes the school, but it is quite far out of your way, Keith is eligible for CESTA. So he can tolerate getting on a bus or on a van. It's just a high-ace van. He gets his own row of seats.
Yeah.
One child per row, so that way they don't feel they're crammed in and everything. And he goes to a school which is 15 minutes away from my house, just one way. So and when I've got children all finishing at different schools at the same time, it's sort of one, instead of picking the closest one to fit your timeline, maybe look at further afield and using CESTA, because if it works for your child, everyone will understand.
That's fantastic.
So
cool.
yeah.
Thank you.